Hey there, welcome to One Take, powered by backers.
No judging.
Yeah.
No judging.
And the millennials are really changing that.
Is charm. No.
All success begins with desire.
I feel like I'm on fire right now.
Hey there, welcome to One Take, powered by backers. I am joined here by my special guest, Diane. Is it Matyas?
Yes, Matyas. Yes.
Matyas, sorry, my mistake. It's Justin Fox. Diane, thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, shut them. Oh, you're welcome. We're just trying to adjust the light here because I can't see. I was blinded by the light, and two more, and then maybe open up another light.
Awesome. So we're dealing with our lighting, and so we, as you said, you had some technical difficulties.
Right.
Internet was down. So
the internet was down until late last night.
Wow,
so
all over the community, or
yes,
just really?
Yes. I live in a townhouse complex, an executive townhouse complex, and someone did something.
Innovator, author, speaker, performance expert, and athlete. So there's a lot in there. Those are just titles of things that you've accomplished.
Right.
I love doing a choose your own adventure. Why don't you pick one of those topics and let's talk about it. Where would you like to start? Where should we start?
So it's funny that you're saying this because my daughter and I were just discussing that. She's a robotics engineer, and she happens to be doing some design work right beside me right now. So, thank goodness, right?
Thank goodness the laptop was right there, so to switch over. Exactly.
Right. Okay, so the two came to mind. One is Entrepreneur of the Year. How did that happen?
Right. And
the second one is what I'm good at is going from concept to commercialization of products.
Okay.
So those are huge, but they intertwine.
So let's start with then Entrepreneur of the Year. Explain how you became Entrepreneur of the Year. It was 2017, I think.
Or 18, I don't know.
18, somewhere around there.
So
you're in Waterloo. I could list a whole list of things. Finalist for the Future Innovation Sport Technology World Series. That was recently. Research partner, speaker, selected for the MEMS World Summit, selected Canadian Pavilion Consumer Electronics Show, featured Hockey Night in Canada, winner Entrepreneur. That was in 2018. Woman of the Year, speaker at MEMS. Speaker the Hockey Innovation Day, winner Canadian Export Challenge Inaugural Global Accelerator, selected Startup Pavilion Inaugural Medical Sensors Design Conference, winner Building Communities Program, the Ontario Women's Directorate, sorry, I can't even read, Women's Founders Startup Canada, and then you were the finalist for Women in Wearables, founder of Impact TV, founder of the International Women's Day, which I thought was really cool. I wanted to talk about the International Women's Day Waterloo region, recognized by CTV as a local hero for launching their very first walking school bus program in Canada. So and then the first women, one of them I thought was the International Book Promotion Tour and Media Campaign simultaneously, and recognized by the province of Ontario as an outstanding volunteer for launching the Business and Professional Women's Club in KW or Kitchener-Waterloo. That was the that was the intro I should have done, right?
Right.
So let's talk about the Entrepreneur of the Year award.
Okay,
what
so
led to that?
Right. So that was a result of my founding a tech company and taking it from concept to commercialization. So that's sort of, like I said, they're intertwined.
Right. So and that company was what?
SportFits.
SportFits. But so you're still there, correct?
I'm still there as a shareholder.
Okay.
And what I'm doing now is the next. So that's what we're working on right now. My daughter just graduated as a robotics engineer. So what we're doing is we're working on the next project together.
Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about SportFits. So it's a wearable technology intertwined with, I guess it was sort of brain impact. You're talking about concussions, brain impact. So tell us about SportFits and what, I guess, let's start there then. What got you into SportFits? What is SportFits? And what did you end up sort of building it into?
Okay, so it started as a concept to, the first law came out in Canada.
Okay.
And so the law was concussion prevention law.
Okay.
So it came out, started in Toronto, okay, so Ontario, and then it's spreading now across Canada. So
When did that come out? When was that? Like what year?
I don't know, 3 years ago.
Okay, so somewhere
So
around
then
20.
in response, I was invited because I'm a leader in the community in Kitchener-Waterloo. So my MPP, she invited me to attend the legislative process and represent the area. So I did.
Okay.
And then as a coach, because I'm actually a professional coach. So my
Okay.
undergraduate is from Laurier here in Waterloo, coaching. So I specialize only in coaching. That's what I care about, coaching, helping people get achieve their goal.
So you did psych and phys ed, right?
Yeah, I did
Did you get into
psychology and
sports
phys ed with
psych?
right. Yes. Yeah. Sports medicine, sports psych with specializing in coaching. So I got my NCCP level 3 I've attained. So and at that time my sport was gymnastics because that's all I
Okay.
cared about then. And then I
Right.
went on to coaching tennis all around. So I
Okay.
played tennis all around North America and into the Caribbean. So this is
Interesting.
my background sport, which is why sport fits. Okay, and the actual wearable fit everyone because it could. So when this legislation came up and I'm part of the process, what happened was I thought, can't there be something? So I did some major research and found out that there were some things on the market, but you know, it's fine if we could look at what can we achieve. So I brought together a team and we literally manufactured a product and I sold it all around the world. So when we sold it at different events, it was quite popular. And then we were covered. SportFits as a company was covered for being a wearable device, a new wearable device on the market. So we were invited to attend. The Canadian government selected 20 companies to represent Canada at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas.
Okay.
And so SportFits was one of the 20 selected. So we attended that on behalf of Canada. And then we were covered by probably 126 countries at that point because they came up to us. My daughter, being an engineer, she was in school, but she designed. Okay, so then it was a mother-daughter team at the CES. So we were covered for that reason.
Right.
So on the spot, media coverage, video, newspaper, everything. So then it went immediately global. Once you're at CES, you're global.
Right.
So then I was selected to speak at all these different events. So when you're saying I went to Napa for the first time and spoke at the MEMS conference, they invited me to China, but politically it wasn't positive for me to go to China at that time. So I chose not to.
Okay.
They invited me all to speak at a lot of different events.
Interesting. So just, I guess, to sort of go back, ironically, not that it really matters, I took phys ed and psych as well. They didn't have a joint major at Brock to do both.
Oh,
so
you went to Brock?
I went to Brock, did Brock
Okay.
phys ed, and pretty much all my electives were psychology.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome!
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yes.
I'm from Welland.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you live down there. Okay. So there.
Yes, I thought
Yes.
Brock. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're doing some really great things at Brock. They just opened up a sort of a research facility and a clinical practice for assessing all the brain damage and everything. So
interesting. It's expanded since I graduated in 01. So
yes.
Right around when the complex, like the sport complex, was being finished. So it's been a while, but yeah, so I definitely wanted to get into sports psychology. So it's interesting you sort of talk about that. But talk about sport fit. So you mentioned you built, so there was obviously
it's a concept. So
what is it like, what's the
team.
concept? Yeah, what is the
concept was what kind of wearable, how would you do it, what does it need to measure, and how, pardon the pun, impactful will it be? So
on sort of on trauma, like
yes,
TBI
yes.
or like traumatic brain injuries, or
right. So that's exactly what we
brain
want to
function,
measure.
I guess you want
yes,
to measure.
Well, yes, because people don't know that if they're impacted, they don't actually know.
Right.
Is that you're symptom free until you're not. Okay, so I think there's something going around the world
that's
right
sort of
now
like a very gray or like a black or white. You're symptom free until you're not.
Until you're not. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're not, you could be, that's it for, like, at least if you knew, you could take some precautions, or you could take better care of yourself. So there's things you can do to prevent it the second time, because sometimes you don't get a second chance, which is what the law was all about. She didn't get a second chance, right? She passed away. This is the law based on an incident with a teenager.
Okay.
So this is what we're saying, like, so we wanted you to know when you're impacted the first time.
Okay, so it measures sort of the impact of a
When you're wearing
traumatic.
it, it measures the impact. That's right.
Okay, so let's say if I had a traumatic brain injury and then I put it on, will it measure what, like where I am, or do you need like a baseline, or how does it
No,
work
what it measures is the impact you received while you're wearing it.
while you're wearing? So it only sort of worked while you're wearing. So you need now people to start implementing it into equipment, arguably helmets.
Well,
To
it can't,
measure.
it's better if your measurement is on your body as opposed to in a piece of equipment, because the piece of
Okay.
equipment moves.
Right, so it'd be like sort of stuck to the.
Yes, and it's best to have it in certain positions on your body, which is what all the testing was about. So I
Okay.
worked with different CFL players.
Okay.
I worked with different boxers. We were
Okay.
covered under concussion documentary. So my daughter and I were featured in the documentary that went worldwide.
Okay.
From a company out of the UK.
Interesting. Okay, it sounds very cool. I mean, obviously there's a whole push. I'm not familiar with the law that you're referring to, but there's definitely a whole push. I know someone I think I grew up with is now a PhD in traumatic brain injury at U of T. Like he's studying, sort of doing a lot of research and articles on that. So obviously there's, in the NFL, and you mentioned the CFL, and in sports in
some
general.
players were testing it as well.
Right.
And then in the boxing industry,
Right.
they were testing it. And I had a whole team out of Florida testing.
Okay.
And then there was a team out of Vegas testing. And then we had
Okay.
some international testing. So every time I went to a pitched at a sports event, they would pick it up and I'd partner with someone, and then we'd generate some research based on that.
Interesting. So it's a wearable. So the idea is that anyone can wear it, playing, arguably any sport,
or not a sport. It doesn't matter.
or even just in life, in life, right? Because I guess,
Yes.
If you're walking around, you could potentially, trip, fall. There's other risks.
Well, driving,
right?
you don't know how much of
right.
an impact you have driving a car and stopping suddenly.
Right, the sort of the back and forth. Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Or
so
flipping
what is
on
it?
the ice. You're Canadian. Flipping on the ice.
Yes,
That's not hard to do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Walking. I mean, it's nice out today, but I'm sure winter is coming.
But I had the snow 2 days ago.
Well,
so
I did see the cars around on Monday were a little covered in snow, but okay. So wearable. So like, I'd love to just, before we move on, sort of talk about different things. Like, what does it look like? What is it like? Have you built out prototypes? It's being built, sold? Like,
yes. So I went from concept
yeah
to commercialization,
okay.
which is what I'm good at doing. So the
Okay.
commercialization was I sold the units.
Okay, so what does a unit look like? If I were to wear it, is it sort of a headband? Is it?
Oh no, it's a little tiny little wearable you put on your neck.
Oh, so it
You
actually,
wouldn't even see it. You wouldn't even know
really?
that you're wearing it. Yeah.
Okay, and it's
waterproof,
measuring.
sweatproof, right?
Really? Wow. Okay, so it's just like, is it like a sticker, or
Yes, it's like a sticker.
like a sticker, almost like a Band-Aid kind of thing?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So Sport Fits. So I guess people should check that out. So I mean, you wanted to talk a little bit about entrepreneur of the year. So you obviously won that.
Well, that's how I got there. So
that's how you got there.
How I got there was a lot of strategic partnerships.
A lot of strategic partnerships.
Right.
Okay.
So who you have to keep
partners? I said, who are the partners? Or
right.
Do you have like a laundry list of them that?
Right. Yeah. I do. So you have to know where to go and who to speak to and who the major players are and how to approach them. So it's you're inside a silo. Your vortex, right? You have to figure it all out, and then you get the emails, and then which to attend, because you can't. If I'm in Europe, or I'm in Vegas, or speaking in Napa, or China, or wherever, I can't be in all the places. So how do you do this? So this is what I had to figure out in terms of all kinds of markets too. You had to figure out where your target market was. You think sport and Sport Fits, but if you got a major deal in another industry, you're going to take it.
Right. So I guess, yeah, it starts with one kind of use case, and then you can kind of find.
So when I was in Costa Rica, the government, Costa Rican government brought me they wanted us to manufacture the product in Costa Rica because they have a huge med tech sector.
Okay.
See, so who knew that was going to come up? So I went to Costa Rica, checked it out. I pitched in Spanish to the head of the Olympic committee there.
Okay.
I was in Trinidad. They invited me to Trinidad, and I again pitched to the head of the Olympic Committee for all of the Caribbean.
I'm assuming you speak Spanish.
Well, I'm learning.
You're learning. Okay, that's.
I spoke Spanish that day.
Well, that's yeah. Like, do you speak any Spanish going into that? Or?
Some. I've just been learning. So.
Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. I was speaking with someone else. They were down in sort of South America, Brazil, and there's a lot of sort of development happening down there, and they're looking for technology and innovation.
Yes.
So there's
huge
a lot,
hubs.
There's huge hubs down there for sure. Interesting. So I'll change focus a little bit. You mentioned that you wrote a book.
Yes.
We're talking a little bit about that just briefly off air.
Well, people were asking me all about even years ago. They were saying to me, how do you get that energy? How are you so persistent? How do you get the deal done? Why are you on TV all the time? How do you make this happen? So I wrote a book that described my energy and how to generate the energy for yourself, because, you know, I can't meet everyone. And so I wrote this book, went across Canada, became a Canadian bestseller, went through the States, went through the Caribbean and into Europe. So then this is what I want to share with people is, if you don't know, because I've been pursuing other channels recently in the robotics and technical area, how do you do that? So this book is all about that.
So what's the title of the book? What's the title?
Performance. It's called Performance, yes. Okay. So it's what you do every single day to meet your goals.
So can you give us a Coles Notes? Can you give us a Coles Notes version of the give us like your 5 tips or I don't know how the book's written, but give us sort of.
Well, it is kind of written in 10 sections, so that's very close. Okay. So an example would be, if you want to be fit, and I'm a fitness guru, so I'm a multi-sport athlete. So if you want to be fit, I can't just work out one day once and then, oh, I'm fit. It doesn't work that way.
What do you mean it doesn't work? I can't eat healthy one meal a day for 1 week, 1 meal a week, and I'm healthy eating. No, it doesn't work that way. I can't run on the treadmill for 10 minutes a week.
So people think, oh, you know, what do you do? And then it was it was written during an Olympic time, where you're thinking the top people in the world are literally performing, and you think, okay, so how are these people performing? And you're seeing their 1 minute performance.
Right.
Okay, you're seeing their, you know, their glory. But that's not the case. It was 15 years of hard work to get to that point.
20 years of, you know, every day.
Overnight success. I don't think so. It wasn't an overnight success. Right. Okay, so this is my point. So I'm outlining to people, what do you have to do every single day? So how do you live with such passion? How do you generate the energy every single day, especially the days when, you know, you don't feel like it?
Right.
So how do you switch that in your mind? How do you choose to be that way? What do you really want to do? What makes you happy? How do you put it all together?
So is it more of asking the questions, and then sort of they're expected to come up with the response?
With the responses, right. So these are the foods that generate, and people don't even consider sometimes that I don't feel well. Maybe you're dehydrated. Maybe you need to hydrate. Right. Maybe you just drink water. I have hydration formulas. I remember one summer I was doing triathlons. I was just practicing my tries at that time, and I was dehydrated. Like, I was dehydrated. And then finally I figured it out that it was simply dehydration. It not simply, but I'm just saying that's, so then I took to some hydration tablets, and then I was literally miraculously fine. So then I learned
there's such a thing as a hydration tablet.
Yes. Yeah. Hydrolyte we use. So then that's what we use. And then in recovery, so I work out every day. In order for me to recover, I can't do that with just simply water, or even hydration. So I now have a really awesome recovery drink that will fuel my muscles and my whole body, so that I feel better. So I can work out back to back now.
Sort of like the electrolyte, replenishing your electrolytes. Is sort of
exactly. This has a whole blend, so I can just have that. So it's called recovery. So I learned all these by doing them, and I know that I'd love to share those things with tips with other people.
Interesting. Okay, so number 1 was you can't win an Olympic race in a 1 minute of training. Was that you can't win a gold medal at the Olympics with just 1 minute of training?
Well,
if you wanted to boil it all down into sort of a simple message.
Well, it's called a performance formula. So this is what you have to do in order to win. You actually have to pay attention to your spiritual, mental, and physical your systems. You have to do that. So every day I do.
Okay.
What do you do spiritually so that you can even get out of bed on some days? So what are you telling yourself? How do you feel? What are you doing for yourself? I know that when I'm having a so-called bad day, it's because I haven't paid enough attention to myself.
Right.
So then I say, okay, stop. And then I flip it fast. I try to not spend time doing that. I just, you know, if I'm going, okay, I'm not performing my max. So what's wrong here? And then I know that I'm not paying attention to myself. So either I haven't had enough nutrients, I haven't actually eaten enough, I haven't had enough hydration.
Right.
Or, yeah, something like, or just sleep. Oh my God, sleep.
Sleep, or exactly. You're tired, right? Definitely.
Yeah, or I'm
tired, hungry, thirsty, right?
Right. Okay, so those are the thing, and it's normal for everyone, but we forget that sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Well, I really appreciate you, Diane, joining me. I know we're kind of coming up against the time here. I usually kind of end it off with one question. I think this will be fun for you, or fun for us to hear your answer. If there was one word that you could sort of give to a younger you, one word, one piece of advice, what would that word be?
Focus.
Interesting. So targeting in on one thing and just focusing in on it.
Focus, get it done. Focus
and get it done. So
every morning. This is what I do every morning. That's what I do. I say, okay, what do I have to do today? And that gets done first. And typically it's a high energy activity. So you want to do it when you wake up, because by the end of the day, after 16, 20 hours of working, you can't do it.
Right. I agree 100%. I'm going to ask one other question though. Robotics, you said you're doing something, the next thing. Can you give us a little glimpse into what the next thing is?
Well, we're designing, so we don't know. We did 2 or 3 different spin-offs, and we're thinking, do we like this? We have another meeting coming up on Thursday, so maybe we'll have some definite. So I guess the answer is no.
No secret reveal here. So just, are they spin-offs of SportFit though?
No, it's a totally different company.
Completely different. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, once you do spin it off and you want to come back on, love to have you back.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
And we'll I really appreciate it. So Diane, thank you very much for joining. Everyone else, this is one take. So this is going to be one take. Everything we just did, you're going to see, powered by backers. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Diane, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have an awesome day. Bye.
Awesome. You too. Thank you. Bye. Hey there. Welcome to One Take, powered by backers.
Right? No judging.
Yeah.
No judging.
The millennials are really changing that.
Is charm. No.
All success begins with desire.
I feel like I'm on fire right now.